Okay. It looks like I'm live. Let me grab my bucket of goodies for the collage roll. Give me just a second. Oh, that's not the collage roll. Oh, there it is. Wrong bucket. Okay. I was just in the wrong place. There we go. Now, do we know where the glue is? That would be a good question. You gotta have glue to collage roll. Hold the phone. I've got quite a mess going on. But I'm awake. Despite Susan's fears, I managed to stay awake. Even going out to Garagelandia. I know, right? What crafters use glue? Crazy shenanigans, I say. Okay. I'm just going over to YouTube so I can see things the way you guys see things. I have too much stuff going on over here. That's what I've got. Okay. So there's our monster collage roll. Getting pretty fat. Hey, we got a paper towel. And we got a bucket of stuff. Look at our bucket of stuff. It's fun. It's exciting. We're going to glue. We got glue stick. We got... But hello, Amber and Leslie, who has... Oh, there we go. Now it's coming up. Let's mute me. And put me on live chat. I watched half of Rosemary's chat on live chat like a dork. Just lick it. Just lick it and see what happens. Well, I was told in grade school, if you lick it, it's yours. So it's kind of a life philosophy now. Welcome, welcome. All right, so that's where we left off. Let's grab some stuff out of the bucket. Some big pieces, some little pieces. Grab some with oranges on it. And see where that goes from here. Just have crazy fun. Let's take off some of the hard edges from the sides. Hey, Janice, how you doing? Hi, Roseanne. Mexican paper. I know, now you got to know, right? Inquiring minds. I put it on my to-do list to look up for later. Take the sides off these. That's already done. We'll leave the top on that one. All right. So let's just start adding stuff because we're crazy like that. I know I just saw a bunch of you over at Rosemary's, but I hope you're doing well. Having a great time this week. Only picks zigzags. And Susan's in the house. And hello, Betty. And Christine is here. Yay, Christine. How is everybody's week? It's almost over. It's almost Friday for people working a traditional job. It's going to be the end of the week tomorrow. So that's a little... There we go. All right. What do we want to do? How about some of this? Let's yank the top off that. We could go with that to right about there. Okay. I was out in the garage today, obviously, doing garage stuff. I got a batch of coffee in, and I didn't even fall asleep afterwards. Susan, aren't you proud of me? Look at that. I'm awake and stuff. No guarantees I won't fall asleep right in the middle of this collage roll, in the middle of this live. But I'm good for now. We had street tacos for dinner. Elsa's version of street tacos. So I had the yum yums. Let's see. Do we want to save that for another little? Let's see. That's kind of fun. Let's slide that right under there just like that, but we'll cut it off over here. Well, that was interesting. So I was busy all day just sorting things in my room, so I didn't really watch anything. I started a new book. But I didn't get very far in it. So I was talking to Sandy at lunch, so I didn't do any reading. Don't do that. Then we need some extra glue up here. Woohoo! And even up over here. Just gluing, gluing, and gluing. Let's see. Roseanne is having ice cream. They'll be mailed out tomorrow. Oh boy. What am I reading? Yeah. Everything that was paid for today and all outstanding Etsy orders are going out today. I'm reading The Key to Midnight. It's a Dean Koontz book. I haven't read him in a long time because I got kind of bored with his stuff. But I found it at the thrift store. It looks like it was originally published in 1979. And that this is for a 2010 edition. I don't think I've read it. So we'll see. He usually does pretty good horror. But like I said, I read him for a long time. And his stories kind of got similar. But it's been a long time since I read him. So hopefully it will. It will. All right. It will be a good book. I think I'm less than a chapter in, honestly. I think I read the introduction a little, and I'm just starting chapter 1. So we already tore the edges off. All right, so let's do that. Then we'll grab a few more papers. We don't want to get too much same all in the same spot. I think I read that one a while ago. Let's see. Oh, I forgot. We got this is a bottom piece though. Let's maybe put that right down there and see where we go for the middle. Let's put that right there so we know how far to go up. Right about there. Right about there should do it. Okay, I don't think I watched anything today on Netflix or Amazon. Okay, what do we got here? We don't need this. This may not be wide enough now, yeah? Okay. We'll just use it someplace else. Let's try that. I think that'll do pretty nicely. Oh, we need some over here. A little bit over here. I think we're going to need just a little bit more over here. We do not want the edges of the paper to roll up. That would be not so fancy. Okay. Let's see what we do next. New Criminal Minds show. I don't know if I have access to Paramount Plus right now, but I love Criminal Minds. But I haven't seen all the way to the end, so eventually I'll get there. Eventually. Okay, so I think we're just gonna we'll take off the very bottom, obviously, because it doesn't go all the way to the bottom. But let's just do that right there. Yeah, let's do it. I'm trying to put, less thought into. I know this is going to go down further than that, so we'll go like that, and then we'll add more where we need it. I just threw that paper towel over the edge of my. Well, let's see. I know there's got to be another one in here somewhere. I was just eating tacos. Oh, good night, Leah. Thanks for coming in and spending some time. If you have time to watch the replay, that's awesome. Thank you. And if you guys could hit the thumbs up, that would be super too. Carnitas tacos made by me. Ooh, lasagna. Broccoli quiche. Damn. She's got good food going on. Is everybody going to bed? Do you have any? I think there's quite a few good shows on there. I had Paramount Plus with something else when I shut off all my streaming services when my income dropped so low, because you can't justify having streaming services. The only one I still have is Amazon, and I had even shut that one off for a little while. But I order stuff from there for the business, so that's the only one I'm keeping currently. A lovely, lovely person is letting me piggyback on their Netflix. So I have been enjoying some Netflix too. So they do have good programming. And if you got it for free, you might as well use it. Okay, let's maybe go for something that isn't a magazine. A lot of this is magazines, so I guess I need to go in and cull out some other stuff. Here's a book page. There's a book page. Here a book page. There a book page. Everywhere a book page. That's a... Let's see. Here's the jelly print. That's part, and then here's just some 24-pound paper and part of a digi. So there we go. Now we have plenty to choose from. Plenty, I say. I'm also very loud today. Okay. I do not necessarily want to... Collage roll's getting a little hefty. I don't necessarily want to cut this any... But I do want it to... Yeah, I think like that. Let's do that. I think that will be okie dokie. But we need to do on the front here too. Yeah, I think I used to have it through Prime possibly too. I think you could order it off of Prime, but I think you have to watch it on their doohickey, you know, on their little website or app or whatever it is. I'd watch everything on my laptop. I don't have a TV in here. Okay, so let's put that right at the top. We'll get a little bit of a lift here. Let's use the glue stick there. We don't want any lift. All right. Gluing it down. So tomorrow we'll be back to our regular serial killer stuff. Let's just put that right under there. Take the top edge off that and get a little glue right there. Let's put that along there and a little bit this way. The eyeballs are back there somewhere. Well, that's a bummer. I like the convenience of having it all through Amazon. And so that means I probably won't get them because it's hard to keep track if you have too many apps. Like Disney Plus is its own thing. Paramount is now its own thing. Hulu's its own thing. It's hard to keep track. I like to see it all in one place. It's easier to keep track of what I'm watching. It's easier to search for what I want to watch. But I'm lazy, so. Let's see, what do we want to do? Okay, we're probably going to use that over there. So let's do maybe this. This is one of our jelly prints. So maybe like that. We don't need to be quite that wide, though. Where do we need this to? Right about there. Don't worry, the strips will get used. The strips will get used. Yeah, you like what you like, and I'm pretty sure when I signed up for Hulu, it was for a specific show originally. I don't have it anymore because when I canceled everything, including Prime, and that was like for 6 months that I did that. And then when I started being able to buy stuff for the business again, I did the Prime, and that was all I was doing. So I am grateful to the person who shares their Netflix with me. It's very nice. Because there's a lot on Netflix. And they do a lot of their own programming. The only thing I miss is I liked Only Murders in the Building, and I don't have whatever that's on right now. And that maybe that was Hulu. I can't remember. Okay, so we're going to go here like that, but we're going to take the end off. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Overlap is good. Structural integrity and all that, you know. We're probably putting Betty and Susan right to sleep. Where everybody's researching Mexican paper. Don't you love a good challenge? All right, now this is a piece of my dyed paper. Let's go right about there, and then we'll fill in that. You're sorting stuff for Happy Meal? Nice! I don't even know what Roku is. Is it like Fire TV? From Amazon? It's great that they kind of, you know, broke cable a little bit, but now you have 89. So now we're all looking for a place to get it in one place. But we didn't like the place we were getting it from. I couldn't afford cable. I haven't had cable in years because they're so expensive. Okay, let's use that to fill the void right there. Nice Valentine swap. Very, very, very fun. Okay. I think I'm just out of the loop on a lot of things. There's things I just don't know, you know. All right. Let's see what's next. How about this pizza oven guy? Let's put him at the top and work from there. Pizza oven guy is fun. He looks like he means business. Gonna make the pizza. Probably delicious. Wood-fired pizzas. Awesome. Which I think that's what that is. I think that's a wood-fired. You can also watch Netflix or Hulu through our cable. Right. You have to have a subscription for that service, but at least you can view what they have and keep track of what you're watching in one place, which is really the problem I have. Like through the cable here, Mike can keep track of what they're watching, like on Disney Plus and stuff like that, and HBO Go and whatnot. And I think it might have Hulu on it, but I don't spend much time out in the living room. That's really Mike's. That's where Mike hangs out after work, and he doesn't want to hang out with us after work. That's his. That's his space, really. So, yeah. And he honestly, I'll go sit out there and read if he's watching something, but we have similar yet distinct tastes in stuff. He watches a lot of, I call it man stupid stuff men find funny, but that I don't really. I'm not being unkind. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. Sometimes men find things funny that I don't find funny. And then he's interested in some genres of stuff. And I recently found out he doesn't watch any mushy stuff. He fast forwards through all of that on movies and TV shows. So he finds it not as much fun to watch with other people because he has to watch the mushy bits. And I get that, So, yeah. I don't like to intrude on his. He works all day long and he's surrounded by people all day long here because he works out in the craft area. It's good to just be able to sit down and do what you want to do. Nobody over there going, don't fast forward through the mushy stuff. Well, that's nice, Amber. Cool. Okay, so we're slowly working our way through this. What do we got? We got some fried chicken over here. This is like a complaint or anything. I feel guilty when I cut in on his dude time, Uh-oh. So we gotta make a straight edge over here. Because he really does a lot. He cleans the house, he does the grocery shopping, he cleans the backyard from the dog poop and stuff. He does a lot of the cooking. He does most of the cleaning, So when he wants to sit down and do something, I'm like, all for it. Ozzy's in that go outside mode right now. He really only barks when he wants to go outside or when he thinks Mike should go outside and play with him. That's a thing, you know. He knows when Mike's off work, which he's not right now. I think he might be on a break. Uh, or if Mike just gets up from his desk because he goes outside to smoke for his breaks and stuff, they just expect him to go out there. And Ozzy gets all excited because Mike is his favorite. That's his human. He loves Mike to pieces. All right, we're going to fill a tiny spot here with We Make Homes Beautiful. Sure, why not? I didn't intentionally have words left over, but since they're there, let's do it. There's a tiny little hole right there. Okay. Okay. So now we've got this big piece. Let's save that for over here. We're liking the food today. It's a foodie thing. So about that, right about there. Let's trim it just a little bit. Now, of course, it's a little short. Of course. Of course, of course, of course. So let's put something else there. What about like that? That should cover the space up. That should do it. Makes me want to eat something else. Sorry. I know we got pizza going on here. We've had tangerines, fried chicken. It's got all kinds of stuff going on. I'm not food oriented or anything. I'm not even hungry right now. Oh my gosh, did I tell you what Carla sent me? A package arrived today. Hold on, I'll grab it. It's food. It's food. You know it's food. Yeah, let's get that. Let's get this on here. Make sure it's all down to the. And when I talked to her just before it arrived, she was on her way to see Magic Mike, the new one. She got into some kind of sneak preview. It's the Hershey's Valentine's Kisses lava and dark chocolate candy. It's a pound. And it's delicious. I shared some with everybody. I'm the only one that truly likes it. Everybody else was like, it's a weird texture. You know, they all agreed that once you got it working around, it tasted good, but I'm really the only dark chocolate fan in the house. I might eat one right now. I love it. And I like the lava cake filling. Really, really bad. Let's add that on there. I like that. It's part of a book page. work this paper towel around so that we have a not gluey area. Okay, so we have this piece that we can put right here, although not necessarily. Okay, let's add this one. Slowly working on filling that hole up. Okay, that's done. These pieces are too small. That's too soon. All right, I'm going to grab some more pieces here. Okay. There's another piece of that. And then just here's some with words on it. And another piece of a deli plate. Okay, that should get us going for a while. We'll go for about an hour. Okay, so we're not ready for that yet. See, that was my surprise from Miss Carla, which was quite welcome. Who doesn't like? And it's not like you can melt dark chocolate here in the summer. Oh, what a mess that would be. I think we can all agree that would not be good. Right? So it's very sweet of her. Okay. Now we need a piece with an edge on it for the bottom here. What do we have? Right here. We got a piece for the bottom. That'll work. We got to put it over a little bit, actually, though, to cover up all of this. This edge over here. Pull down just a little bit, you. There we go. Looks like we got it glued pretty good. Okay. I'm just rolling it a little tighter if I can. Okay. Probably not when I make the next one, but I think once we've reached the halfway point here, we started this about the middle of December, I think, ish. So I figure around June, we'll chop it up. And then we'll embellish it a little bit in the places where it might be a little thin. I just think it's fun because we're using all kinds of pieces of things. I think maybe I made that a little. Well, we'll live with it now. Lots of choices for fun stuff here. Of stuff we might not otherwise use, right? Okay, that's not quite big enough. Let's take a little bit of this. Let's take the top off of that. And I think that'll do good right there for size. Yeah, so I thought we'd chop it up around June and we'll start a new one. And we'll make, I think we'll probably get more than one glue book out of it. I gotta go, as I go through my stuff, I'm gonna keep the box out so I can just toss some things into it. You know, I always find damages and stuff. I'm like, I don't know why I'm holding on to those sort of things, you know. But they'll be great for the collage roll. And I'm still kind of keeping my eye whenever I see the junk mail. I don't always see the mail come into the house, so. And looking for packaging bits that'll work in it and stuff like that. You know? You know? Okay, let's tear this edge off that. I think we'll put this right here. So we'll have a space to cover right there. That's from that atlas. Just a piece of the index there. I love indexes and stuff. Okay, so let's take a piece of that now. Right there like that. It ain't happening. Janice keeps it real. I am desperate to get my room, you know, as clean as I can. I just want to be able to find things when I'm looking for them. And Else keeps going by and telling me it looks worse every day. Well, it always looks worse before it gets better, you know. To make an utter absolute pigsty out of things before it all comes together organizationally, you know. Not all of us have a whole house to spread out into. Although I do have some stuff out in the living room and on the one box on the washer. And Mike's kind of having kittens. He doesn't. His fear is that it'll be months before I move it out. But I'm going to make sure that's not the case. I really just need it out there for a day or two, but I'll bring it in every night. But I gotta. Okay, so we don't really need this part. This part is thicker than the rest of it, but I love the Where's My Mummy book. I do. So, oops, we've got stuff where we don't really need it. That's okay, because we need to put something over there. Just barely touching. But it needs to be something small, because I don't want to cover up the little mummy's head. How about just some pink text? You've been putting off for. Well, now that I've decided, I realize I'm not moving in a month or even 6 months, but the decision to move has kind of solidified a need to group things together and figure out what I'm actually going to take with me, what is going to, you know, get donated back, what needs to be dyed and put in the store and stuff like that, you know. We do have a little tear right here, so let's see if we can't repair that some. So we'll glue right there, and then I think we'll go on over to the back side real quick. And let's just glue something right over that, just to so that it doesn't, we don't have any problems later when it's in a glue book. Not that these things can't be repaired, because it'll be a glue book and the whole purpose is to glue on it. So this is the kind of thing where when you're all done and you put it in a book, you may have parts where you don't glue anything over it because you like how it is, you know? Let's see what's going on here with this glue roll. Okay, we are slowly getting shorter. Okay. I think we're at about the right size. Maybe just a tiny bit shorter. Because for a single bedroom and the little bit of space I have out in the garage, I have a lot of stuff. And while I don't want to sell everything or give everything away, because I have started over a lot of times in my life, now that I kind of have found a purpose that I like, I don't want to give up everything to start over again. I would like to take the important bits with me, you know? So now is where I start looking at, do I need that thing? And looking at, where I use some of Elle's tools and materials. Because she's, decent about sharing things. Where I need to fill the gap for things I won't have when I move. So I can either acquire it or at least try and set aside money for it down the line. Or have a list. Lists are good. Lists are very good. I think I like that. So let's take off the bottom here, the big white chunk. It's like looking outside a little bit. I mean, it would be great if I had the money and I could just move. That's not how life works very often. At least not for the level of financial planning I've had in my life. Oh, it's Thursday. Mike probably got off at 8 o'clock. Because he's got there's a thing they do on Thursdays that Mike doesn't like, so he uses some of his PTO to not have to do it. I feel you on that, Amber. Yeah, well, and I may have things I don't actually need, and I may not use at this point, You hear about it every now and then, but for the most part, you have to know in advance. If somebody told most people, well, you got to move in a month, they wouldn't have the means to do it without putting it on credit cards or, and I don't have credit cards, so. It gives me a reason, because I do want to grow my business. Eventually, I'd like this to be, and it might not just be this. I mean, let's be honest, how many people make a full-time living crafting? Probably not as many, For a lot of people, it's a side hustle. And I'm okay with getting a part-time job, honestly, to supplement it once I'm where I want to be. The rent here is pretty cheap, I got to be honest. Els and Mike have been very generous with the rent terms. Oh, I think I like that. So let's do that. But and then there's going to have to be there's a little bit of space in between the two sections. So we'll have to fill that just a tiny bit. It also gives me lots to think about, Gives me a chance to explore places. I really love the things Susan's saying about Texas, about the walkability, about where she is in Texas, about where her and Betty are. That it's got walkability and bikeability. because not every place does, honestly. You can bike here, but the streets are not. The traffic is crazy here. And the closer to downtown you get, the crazier it is. So, the bus system is okay, but not great. Let's just put a thin strip of, I think we like this. Yeah, let's do that. Just a little thin strip of that. I did order from Paperback Swap. Book 11 of the Stephanie Plum series. Ooh, see, I get to meet all kinds of fun people too. I think at this point, the way the economy's been and with COVID, I think that it's really hard for people to live alone. But how often are you going to find a situation where, like, I need at least 2 bedrooms worth of space? I need at least one extra table to expand my business a little bit. I would need a part-time job. Even if I rented space and I shared it with a roommate, or I lived with somebody like I do here. And then there's the issue of if I live with other people and it's not an equal roommate situation, that's their property. They have, they could say you can't die, or and with a roommate, I'm not going to get all the space I want. I have a driver's license and I can drive. I don't have a car and I don't really enjoy driving. But I got around for years. I've been divorced for 1990. I separated in 2008, I think. I think we were divorced in 2009. It might have been 2010 because we were separated for quite a while. And so we're in 2023. Let's say it's 10 just for the sake of ease. That's 13 years. I left without, I let him have the car. I let him have almost everything. The only thing I did was I sold all of my books. I had a substantial library of my own, and I used that to fund me leaving. I miss those books, but I sure don't miss him. I don't necessarily need a whole craft room all to myself, but I do need dye space. Aw, that's sweet, Leslie. They make the offer all the time, but like I said last night, I never know when somebody's kidding or serious, and I would hate to take somebody serious if they were kidding. I just feel like it would be awkward. I love Betty and Susan. They're awesome people. And they're fun, And I definitely wouldn't mind, from the sounds of it, if that's a legit thing, a bedroom, a third of the craft room, be able to use the garage. And I think they have adequate outside weather for most of the year where I could do some dyeing outside. I love books. So, but otherwise I would need a 1-bedroom apartment. I couldn't get away in a studio with what I do. So, and rents are really expensive now. That's the problem I ran into when I wanted to move before. It wasn't the logistics. I had somebody who was willing to help me move my stuff. And worst case scenario, you pay to have movers move it for you, which is always an expense, but without a car, that's what you do. But it's so much higher now. And it's starting to come down a tiny bit, but it's still not where I need it to be. So I would genuinely be struggling even with a part-time job, unless I can get, in the meantime, my business to a better place. Oh, I can't afford to buy, but I also don't have that as a goal in my life. Everybody has different needs. You're a lot younger than I am, so you still have time. I'm going to be, what am I going to be this year? Am I 51 or am I 52? 71? I think I'm 52 right now. Let me do some math on that. I was born in 71. I think I'm going to be 52 this year. I can't remember. My birthday's coming up in April. But that's not saying that you can't find things. Like if you, like I was renting for super cheap in the middle of Old Town Scottsdale, which is, you know, Scottsdale's a fairly upscale part of the Phoenix area. And hello, are you going to bring up the, are you just going to think about life? You're not going to give me a calculator? You're going to make me not know how old I am. Thanks, computer. You're going to be 37. So you've got, you know, I've got 3, 4, 5. I've got about 15 years on you or so. Come on, calculator. And like I said, I'm not opposed to a roommate situation or house sharing or anything like that. It's just, I'm going over a little farther than I want to, but I want to make this work because I love this. This is already kind of collaged all on its own. But Texas isn't a place I would have considered when I was originally planning my move. No offense to Texas. It's about storms. I don't want to live any place that gets, you know, theoretically, I don't want to live in Tornado Alley. You'll be 52 in April, Janice? We're going to find out. 1971 minus 2023. I shall be 52 as well. Yeah, I figure if I announce my intention now, maybe the universe will help me fill in some of those gaps. So, you know. Okay, so what do we want to do? Ooh, do we like that? Just the cow, like, chilling? He's chilling like a villain. It's just a cow, though. I doubt there are many cow villains. Know what I'm saying? We're going to take that down even a little bit more. I don't want to cover up the whole mummy. Love the mummy. That's the mummy that ate the spider. I love my Halloween books. Oh, I will. I'm sorry. You're going to be 66. Woohoo! Leveling up. But I remember I remember like when I was 17 or 18, I figured out what year I was going to turn 50. And it seems so far away. And I don't feel bad about how old I am. Like, I know there's a lot of people out there that they're not okay with their age because, you know, vanity or health reasons or whatever. Like, I would like to be healthier, but the reason, you know, I feel okay about getting older. It's a moving goalpost, though, right? Now I sit around and I think, okay, if I'm not old at 52, because I don't feel ancient, although sometimes I do wake up and I'm like, oh, I'm decrepit. But for the most part, I don't think of myself as, oh, my life is over. There's nothing else for me to do in life, you know. I still have things I want to do. I still have goals and wants and stuff like that. So I sit and I think, well, what's old then? Like, I feel a little bit like 70 might be starting to get old. Hey, Bonnie, how you doing? Working on my collage roll. It's huge because I have so many pieces. Right? When you're 17, 18, even 20, 25, 50 or 60 seems ancient. Then you get there and you're like, well, what really is old? I look at Artie Dar. I think she just turned 70 or 71. And she's still, powering on through. She's got her own personality. She's very energetic. She's going out to live music shows, in I think it's kind of bluesy stuff. I never can remember. But like they still go out and they go to bars and they listen to live music. And I'm not saying they're getting schnockered or anything, but it's not like they're sitting at home in their rockers. Hope you're having a great Thursday, Bonnie. We're heading into Friday very quickly. Yeah, I love this idea and I ran with it. It's huge. We're going to go 6 months and then I'm going to cut it up. Because I'm using leftovers from like glue book projects and stuff like that. But I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm so glad I watched your video. Well, yeah, those kind of milestones are very personal. Having been a parent, I can't say it's the only thing you can do in life that's worthwhile, It's a beautiful, amazing, terrible thing to do to yourself. It's terrible, amazing, wonderful, awful, poor making, but rich in memories thing you can do to yourself. But it's not for everybody, Not everybody loves being a parent. Not everybody's cut out for it, as the world can clearly attest. Okay, I still don't want that big white piece at the bottom. I think we're going to do that. Yeah, that's true. So, I want to see where this business takes me and I lived in Houston for a while, and I did live in San Antonio very briefly. But other than that, I've only ever driven through Texas, like as quickly as I could get through it. That I-10 route, not so much fun to drive. And it doesn't showcase the best of Texas, I don't think. Let's use a little bit of this. Let's put some jelly plate right there to fill that space. But maybe not that much of it. We'll all eventually get where we need to be. I've lived all over. My parents were in the military, so I grew up a military brat. I've seen a lot of the United States. I've seen a few foreign countries. And I feel, blessed to have had the experience, honestly. I did not want to totally cover up that pillow piece. So let's see what that does. And we'll just fill that from the back, probably. I think that'll be good. But Texas would definitely be a new adventure. But I could go where Carla is, honestly. And I've never been to any of the up top states. Partially, mainly because they're very cold. And I'm not, I'm certainly not a sun baby, but I'm not in love with snow either. So I'm going to flip this over for a second. And we're going to fill this space from the back, I think. So since it'll be white on the other side, let's just use another piece of this. I think that'll be okay. That way, I think is the way we're going to do it. It's always funny when you look on the other side and you're like, whoa, I cut off all kinds of... Over here, I'm like, I don't want to cover that up, but I don't even look at the back. Leslie, I-10 is definitely not the best. No, it's really not. I've lived, let's see. East Coast, I lived in Maryland, South Carolina. I've lived in Florida. Not for a super long time, but let's see. I lived in Ohio. California. Texas a couple of times briefly, and I was born in California, but I haven't lived, other than national parks, any significant part of my time, like in any of the city parts. I lived for about 3 years in Death Valley and a couple of years up in the Grand Canyon, and I worked for a season up in Sequoia at Kings Canyon. I've always wanted to visit New York, though. I want to go to the library and the Museum of National History. There's stuff in New York I'd like to see, but it's such a big city that I don't know. Okay, so we're putting all this. We've got Halloween stuff. Here we've got a big. So let's tear at the bottom here. Let's put in this big Christmas tree piece. Why not? Look, there's palm trees out there, and we're going to put a Christmas tree right next to it. Why the heck not? Because it was a single piece of a book. I couldn't get the signature page out. Happens sometimes where you can't get all the pages as signature pages. And I don't like to waste them. Okay, we need to glue a little bit more over here. Oops. We'll be still gluing Christmas stuff down in July. It's humid there. There's no real humidity here in Nevada, and there wasn't really in Arizona either. And in Texas, it really depends on where you are, but they get weather from the coast. They get, I think there's a wider range of weather in Texas. You want to visit New York too? And I want to do some of the touristy things. Like I'd like to go see the Statue of Liberty, obviously. I'd like to see the 9/11 memorial, although I think it's going to cry. We went to the one in Oklahoma. It's not the 9/11 one, but the bombing one. Oh, such a heavy, heavy place to visit. I was moved to tears there. But it's not hard to move me to tears, honestly. Okay, so let's make a little straight edge on this bag, and we'll put it down here. We do need to straighten up a little bit of that edge there. I like to keep a straight edge at the bottom, if I can. And then we'll fill here. Let's see, this is, do I know what kind of bag this is? Jack in the Box, I think. It's one of Elsa's favorite places to go. I think you could spend days and days and days in the Natural History Museum. When we lived in Maryland, we must have gone to the Smithsonian, I don't know, 2 or 3 dozen times, because they would have rotating stuff, and you never can see everything in one day. But I was a kid then, I didn't appreciate that kind of stuff quite as much as I do as an adult. So there's that. And then you hear, they only have just the tiniest fraction of what they have in all their stores on display. I would love to be able to see the back rooms back there. Like, how much stuff do they just have hanging out? Ooh, and I'd love to go on a ferry. I've never been on a ferry. Oh, yeah, that's right. You're not in the U.S. You got a whole other thing. It's cold here. Well, cold for here in Vegas. We're at kind of in the 50s, between the 30s at night and the 50s during the day. But there are some places that are far, far colder than that. We're in the desert south. I'm in the desert southwest. Leslie's selling Texas for sure. There's a ferry at Galveston. You can get on one. I think Texas is probably going to be my destination, Leslie, because I've looked at a lot of places, and I don't know, I'm warming up to it based on people's descriptions. The area where Susan's at sounds just about, and no place is 100% perfect. It's just not going to happen. But for my needs as a not a car driver at this point in my life, I have a license. I could drive if I wanted to. But car is not the top of my list of things. My list goes like moving, computer, moving, bicycle. I'm okay with public transportation. Susan said the public transportation is not too bad there. So if I can get around on my own 2 feet, a bicycle, and the bus, I'm good. I'm not embarrassed to get an old lady cart, shuffle myself on and off the bus. I actually miss going out in the wild, and I did not enjoy it so much in the summer. But who does? Even getting in and out of the car. But you get used to it. Public transportation was honestly probably a lot scarier during COVID, but we're largely past that, and it's always going to be a risk no matter what you do. If you're going out to stores and stuff, you're always going to get some cooties, It's hard to avoid. Okay, I really want to use this piece. I've been trying to use this piece for 900 years. So let's just stick it in the middle and work around it, yeah? Let's do it. As long as I don't have to live near in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I'm good. And even then, like I said, I doubt I would recognize my ex if I ran into him on the street tomorrow. Unless he's still wearing the same baseball hat, then I might recognize him. Ooh, how about that? That's fun. And we're still going to see the moon. Because I don't want to cut that off. Although we can kind of get a little bit closer to the car. Yeah, I think that'll work. Classic car ads. These are from the 70s. Somebody sent me some old National Geographics a while back. I think it might have been Tammy Minda. And they had smoking ads, which you never see anymore. And a bunch of old like camera, typewriter, and these old cars. I think these are Oldsmobiles. I'm not real good with cars. Bel Air Sports Sedan. Brookwind 9-passenger station wagon. Holy cow! And that is a whale of a boat right there. The Impala convertible. Those are land yachts. So much fun. I think I just angled that up. Oh well, we'll have to live with it now. We can always trim it later. Yeah, that's true. It's nice to be close to things. Oh, let's see. Bye, Bonnie. Thanks so much for coming in and spending time. Bye. Yeah, those were the days, right? But look at that station wagon. 9 people. And driving around with no seatbelts while you're just flying around in the back of that car. There's probably somebody smoking a cigarette. You guys know what I'm talking about. I want this lady right here. Let's see. Oh, you know what? We can't have that little white edge at the top. Sorry. So we didn't get quite to the... I love just the little edge of the face right there. Still not getting that stuck down over here. I may have to take the glue stick after it. I think that one's dead. Oh, yeah, that is hard. I've lived places without buses. I do know how to drive. I have a driver's license. I'm not a bad driver. It's not my preferred. Because cars have upkeep, and, I could afford to buy a car, but can I afford the insurance and the upkeep, and gas is expensive, and, I'd rather buy a $64 bus pass a month and get around on my bicycle than worry about paying, however much in insurance and then the gas. And if something breaks, I don't know anything about cars. I'm going to have to believe whatever the mechanic tells me. In that respect, I am a dumb woman. I mean, like, I can change a flat tire, but I couldn't tell you what that knocking sound is or even know. Okay. I think I definitely like that there. That's a different time. Mexico, the friendly land. Not so much anymore. Okay, so now we need something with a straight edge to go down here. Let's see, what do we have? That's a top edge. Oh, that's from the same ad. Okay, let's not use the same ad. Okay, that's a top edge. We need a bottom edge. Let's see. Here we go. What about something like this? Let's tear a little bit more of that off right there. That's good. And then we don't want that edge. Okay, I think we got it good. We'll cover up the bottom of this, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I have to say, in terms of humidity, I think few places top Florida for humidity. South Carolina was pretty humid. Hey, Carla, how was the movie? Yeah, the closer to DC you get, definitely the better the transportation is. You're right about that. Oh, and I lived in Maryland. We lived in Maryland for a good long time when I was between 10 and like 15-ish. Does it really? Well, aren't you land of the 10,000 lakes, though? Isn't that Minnesota's moniker? Am I remembering that right? Especially if you live alone, Amber, maintaining a car without being like a lawyer, a doctor. It's hard to maintain that kind of stuff, being single and not married, not sharing your expenses with another person. Okay, so let's wow, we've done a lot today so far. Check this out. Okay, this is where we started. We started where these two chicks are. And we built out from there. We're going to have to glue some edges down. We did quite a bit this evening. So far. We'll go a little bit longer, but I think it's probably getting later. So we don't want to go on too much longer. But let's do a little bit more. We're having fun with it. Just talking away. Yeah, up in like Connecticut, Maine, New England, they get tons of snow. Yeah, it is. Look at that. Look at how big that rollatini is. And look at how tall it got in here. We're working it down a little bit. Gotta get it back down to there. That's all going to have to be trimmed, but that's okay. So let's see. Let's fill this from the back side here because I don't want to cover up any more of the moon. So right there in the middle, let's stick this piece. But we do need to take off this other side here. Okay. So let's just put a bead of glue down this side. And glue it right on there. Oops. We did leave a hard edge, but I think that's okay. Every now and then it's I get forgetful about the whole thing. Okay. So we're going to do half of a decorative plate right here. Let's see. Hold on. Oh, come on. Where's the mouse? Okay. You got blue and green sweatpants. It's movie was good, not great. Okay, I missed the part of the conversation. Hold on. It's basically Lake Marsh. Tundra like Maine, Alaska, Upper Michigan. Water everywhere. You got blue and gray sweatpants. You guys are funny. Okay. We get to put a little more glue right here. This little bit doesn't have any. Okay, so now we need a piece for up here, or 2, or 87. I think that's a good for right there. That we won't get any closer to the moon. I don't want to lose it after we work so hard to get it on there. Okay. And then we'll just glue this over here. Uh-oh, I've lost them. Oh, there we go. Found another piece. Good thing I save all the napkins I don't get any food on. And by napkin, I mean paper towel. Not quite, but soon maybe. Let's see. That could work. That could work. It's going to go way down into here, though. This is okay. Give it a little more stability. Magazine pages aren't known for being terribly stable. And they usually sand that area. Did they really, Carla? I'm not a fan of beards. Ew on the beards. I know a lot of women like it. No, thank you. I'm okay with like a well-trimmed, a well-groomed close beard or a goatee, but hard pass on the bushy mountain man beard. It's not my thing. But I recognize that I am, I could be completely alone in that thinking. A little bit of a Kodak ad right there. I just tried the glue with the bottom of the glue. You saw it right here first. You saw it. Not even going to try and pretend that did not happen. Side mirror warnings. Only in reverse, right? Objects in mirror may appear smaller than they really are. Or are smaller than you I don't know. I could be. Oh, that's good right there. I like that. Let's do that. Yes, yes, yes. Slide that right up under there. Oop. Stay. And then we'll glue this down right there. Got somebody's one leg. Just one leg. I dated a guy in high school that had longer hair than me. And he was very vain about it. He wanted to be in a hairband so bad. I think he still does. I don't think he ever really grew up. I dated him a little bit after high school too. He's one of my kids' dads. Last I heard, he'd been in and out of jail for spousal abuse. She kept taking him back. I thought I really loved that guy. But it's good some things work out the way they do, right? I think he just, got in love with a dream that he couldn't let go of. Or find a way to make peace with it and still be okay with his life, Find a way to pursue it some other way. Waste of breath. Yeah, he looked good in long hair. It's just, hair isn't the most important thing. If that's what you spend all your time, you're kind of missing some other personality traits. So I lost track of him, so I don't know what ultimately happened. And honestly, I think that's okay. I don't know. Some things you maybe don't want to know, We need a flat piece for right there is what we need. Here we've got a flat piece. Let's see how that goes. That could work, right? And then we'll fill it in. Probably don't need quite that much, though. Got a little too much up there. Hit the naked. Yeah, no. You. Although as a group, as a whole, and this is a very broad generalization, so don't people be emailing me if somebody finds this later. I found drummers to be a pretty perverse lot. I don't know if it's all of them categorically, but quite a few. It's a few. It's more than a few. I don't know at the professional level, but at the not professional level, it's one thing to have gigs on the weekend, but that's not your full-time job, you know. Then you should probably dial it back a little bit. I think a lot of guys, though, they get the naked tattoos and stuff, and they don't think about, what about when I have a job? What about when I'm 60? They're in the I'm young and I'm going to live forever and this is so cool mode, you know? I did not intentionally date musicians. How's that? These are things that happened accidentally. Like, I didn't know that way. In high school, he never expressed, or at least when I was dating him, this came along like after we've been dating for a while. Maybe I just don't ask the right questions. I thought I knew a lot about him. I didn't know he wanted to be a musician. But he didn't play any instruments. Yeah, he just wanted to sing. And he had an okay voice, but 9-to-5 office type. I've dated all kinds. I don't know if I have a type. Like, I have an ideal, but I don't. Like, I'm not. I know some ladies, I only want to date a lawyer, or I only want to date a doctor, or I can only date tall, dark-haired men, or I can only date, beach dude type people. You married a truck driver. It's weird the way we wind up with things, right? My ex totally wasn't my type. As a matter of fact, most of the people I've dated in my life, I never looked at them and went, that's exactly my type. But you fall in love with a personality, with who they are, not necessarily what they look like. All right, we're going to have to near to the end here because it's getting late. We've been on an hour and a half, and it's Thursday. Some of you guys got to get up and work tomorrow. So let's do this row, and we'll call it a night. We're going to do Serial Killer for Friday. I hope some of you will play along. If you're up for it, I don't know. Not a lot of people want to work a whole day and then come home and craft with a lunatic lady babbling about serial killers. And Cujo's at it again. I think he just gets playful after Mike gets off work, Here was light hair and eyes. I never really thought about eye color. I'm not really a blonde kind of person. I don't think of myself That guy in high school was as close as it came. He was kind of a, not quite a redhead and not quite a blonde. Unless you think about killing people. But yeah, I'm mostly a dark-haired kind of person. Hey, Christine. That Aussie? That's Aussie? I don't know. Okay. Oh, I did a bad thing. I left a hard edge at the bottom. All right. So let's fill this here. Hey, how about with this? Let's do it with that. That's fun. Part of a change of address thing. That's fun, right? And then we'll sit and chat for a bit, and then we'll sign off. I'm not going to unroll it again, but we did quite a bit. We did quite a bit here. Oh yeah, Ozzy is the Cujo. His name's Ozzy. He's a very sweet dog. He's very timid, and he's kind of a bigger dog. Like he comes up to his head just above my waist. He's a Labrador black lab, but I think he's a mix, and he's got a high pitched bark for such a like he looks like a seriously badass dog, and then he barks, and you're like, wow. But he gets excited about things. For the longest time, he didn't bark at all. He was too timid. And then he found his voice, and we found out it was a little high-pitched. But he's such a good dog. He's a sweetheart. Loves a good scritching. That dog, you could scritch him all day long. He would wiggle his butt all day long for you. All right, so I think let's see how we're doing size-wise. Yeah, I think we brought it down, not quite to where it needs to be, but we're getting there. Because the tube is in there. We're definitely going to have to trim it for height, but that's not a bad thing. We'll have strips to use for scraps of joy for sure. Oh, that's cool. Awesome, Amber. That's a great little bunch of goodies. That's awesome. I love it. Okay. So, it is 10 here. 11, 12. You people on the East Coast, it is 1 o'clock. Oh my gosh. You gotta tell me when I'm running over. Did we stay on for 2 hours? Gotta be close. 1:44. Am I done? I think I still have 2 invoices left. You should have yours. I'll go in and check. Although I will admit there's one I started like at 3 in the morning, and I think I fell asleep, so it's probably in drafts. I got it from, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, there's a lot of people doing Amazon and Etsy, and because people can do it now, not just companies. But I'll invoice you, Christine, and then I'll go ahead and put it in the mail, and you just pay when you get it. I'll put it into the mail with tomorrow's stuff, because I have a bunch of stuff to mail out tomorrow. I've got Etsy. I've got 2 Etsy orders, and I think 4 other orders, like other people want to get them all in the mail. So if you don't have it yet, you'll have it by tomorrow, and just pay it when you can, and that way it'll be on its way to you. All right, so we're going to call it a night, but I will be on tomorrow at about 5:15, give or take a minute or two. I don't plan on any naps, so we should be good. And we'll have ourselves some serial killering fun. Let's see what kind of backstory we can continue building for our serial killer. Should be fun. So however you guys are spending your days and nights, I hope it brings you great joy and happiness. Each and every one of you absolutely deserves it. Until I see you in one of my lives or in a box somewhere, I wish you the happiest of crafting. Thank you, Carla, for the yummy, yummy Hershey's Kisses. I shared a little bit with everyone. I like them the best. Mine. Bright blessings and hugs and hisses to all of you. Bye. Good night, Amber and Carla and Christine. Ooh, what is that? Uh-oh. I don't know what happened there. I shrank the thing. I shrinky-dinked the thing. Hard to shut off a video when you shrinky-dink stuff. Okay, and Janice and anybody I missed, because now it's all out of order. The end.